Go click on it afterwards.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! You're listening to the On The Mark Wrestling Podcast.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE. Give me a hell yeah! Now, let's meet the host. Kyle Gagliardi. The face that runs the place. Jim Tucker. And Erica Marini.
I'm the boss. I'm the blueprint. I'm the standard.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On The Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi, and my co-host is my good friend, Erica Marini. Erica, how are you doing this wonderful Thursday evening?
Oh, it's a wonderful Thursday. I'm good. I'm finally COVID-free on the other side of COVID.
Yeah, Erica beat COVID. Let's hear it.
Thank you. I think, anyway. I don't know. I tested positive last time I checked. But, yeah, feeling good. It's been a while. I'm excited for tonight. And I'm happy to be here.
It has been a while, I guess.
It's like 2 weeks.
For you, yeah. Which 2 weeks really isn't that long. But for the
Feels
people
like
that tune in every week, like Ryan Matthews, the current MVM of the On The Mark Wrestling Podcast, chiming in, he said, let's go. You saw the new merch that he was repping since he won that predictions contest WrestleMania weekend. And I got to say, Erica, I think I like the way the white looks in our merchandise.
Yeah, that's like sharp looking. I like
it
that a lot.
pops. You know, it really catches your eye.
It does.
And he sent out a tweet on Twitter of him wearing that hoodie. We appreciate him tuning in always. And you can get some of that merchandise on that website. Unlike Erica Marini, who is a co-host of this podcast, still hasn't gone to this website and ordered merchandise.
Is there anything else after that in your note?
Oh, yeah. And then Erica chimes in on the Google Doc that I always prepare. No, I didn't add this, but it says, but that's okay because you are my best, most funniest friend I've ever had.
That's sweet. Thank you.
I pointed the gun to my head like you were forcing that
Thank
on
you.
me.
Thank you. That was nice of you to say. Yeah.
But yeah, Erica, you're slacking. You need to get some merchandise.
All right. As
Get
the
on
kids
that.
would say, bet.
Oh, don't ruin the cool words.
Right.
Don't ruin the cool words. I'm not gonna reveal your age because you're not supposed to reveal a female's age to the public. So I'm not gonna do that. But other than that, Erica, how the hell are you? What you been up to other than having COVID?
Salty at you right now. Otherwise, yeah, I missed the WrestleMania show, but that was a hell of a weekend. I know I am like very far behind. Oh, Vogus, I know I said something mean about you on Twitter.
Yeah, Vogus, I don't think you're gonna like that comment that you just made when you go look at her latest tweet to Ryan Matthews. Just saying.
I know. I don't even want to. Never mind.
But no, go on. You enjoyed your WrestleMania weekend.
It was awesome. Yeah. Then I don't know what last week was. COVID. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, WrestleMania and COVID. That's what I've been doing.
You might have given something to me somehow because I have a little bit of a cold. I don't have COVID.
Very contagious.
I promise you. But I've been doing a little coughing, sneezing, and all that stuff. So
How it starts.
I know people want to look at you like you got it, but I don't have it. I promise. Then again, I haven't tested or anything like that. So,
Well, like, you know what they say, can't get COVID if you don't test.
that's true. And I do have those at-home tests. I think they gave out for free, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'll survive. We're here. We're talking wrestling. We're going to get some merchandise after the show, or at least Erica is, and you should too. Like I said, go to that website down below and you can check out all the good stuff that we have there. One more comment coming in before we start. From the MVM himself, Ryan Matthews. Bogus. There's a new sheriff in town, according to Erica.
Boys.
I know.
Look at me just stirring the pot. Oh, just stir it up.
That's what. Oh, stir it up, baby. You see she was in the baddie section last night?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she was there with Kiera Hogan and the other baddie.
Oh, I did. I think I saw that on. I think I missed a lot.
Which
not even go.
No, I was just gonna say that was the worst segment I've seen in 2022.
What was it?
The Marina Shafir and Sky Blue match with the baddies ringside. That was just terrible. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who he's referring to. Is he referring to Red Velvet?
He's probably referring to Ryan Matthews by head again.
Yeah, that's Ryan Matthews in the comment section.
Like when or is it like when Mariah Carey was asked what she thought about like Katy Perry or something, and she was like, I don't know her.
Oh, so
could be. I'm here for all the shade, so
we like to get little feuds going on here. If you're a listener, like these two that chime in almost every week, Ryan Bogus and Ryan Matthews, we like to interact with our listeners. So it's some good entertainment for us. And if you want to chime in and, watch live, we're live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central. Half the time, all three of us aren't here. Erica is doing things like brunches on Sundays now, how was your brunch, by the way? That sounds fantastic.
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was a really cool place and the food was banging.
And then you ended up going to your buddy's house and watching the Yankees afterwards, correct?
That was that night. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Because I was contacting you because now I'm a GCW guy.
Love it. I love it.
How about that? Did you get the chance to watch any of Sunday's show?
No.
I would love to potentially interview somebody on GCW because I like the product that they're putting out there. Like I talked to you, Jordan Oliver, and something Cartwheel. I forgot his first name. I apologize. Jack Cartwheel. I mean, those two guys put on a match of the year candidate, and that's something that not a lot of people are going to see.
Right. And that's the other thing. I mean, I wish it was more, what's the word? I just got a text and I'm all fucked up.
More mainstream.
Yeah.
I see how it's not.
As much as I like to gatekeep.
It's a niche company.
Yeah.
That's just how it should be.
What about the oh God, what match? What were we watching Mania weekend? And you were watching it with me, and they had like all the death matches. Yeah, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. Like Ryan Vogus probably wouldn't be into it, but I appreciate it. I mean, I still watch NXT. That's a weird show, which we will get into in a little bit, but I like to watch as much as possible. So yeah, I'm a big GCW guy now.
Love it.
The MVM says we should get a Vogus is bogus shirt going. That would be kind of like the Mr. OTM one we have, Erica, where one or two people buy it, and that's about it.
I played the fifth.
You're going to be nice this time? All right, fine. You can play both sides. I see what you're doing over there. Yep. Right. So I say we start off this show with a few topics from the WWE, and then we can get into the big AEW shows. They're calling it Championship Week. For AEW, there is a lot of championship matches going on. But before we get into all that, Erica, let's talk about this. For the first time in 30 years, the WWE is bringing a major stadium event to the United Kingdom on September 3rd. When you saw this news, what were you thinking? I think this is pretty exciting, right?
I think that's awesome. I think because it's like an open stadium, obviously, right? And like I love that, and I'm hoping that they didn't say the time, right? I'm hoping it's like a nighttime show.
For you guys on the East Coast, I was listening to a podcast earlier. It'll be like 2 p.m. start for you on that Saturday. But that's also the weekend of All Out weekend. So I could see why they probably went overseas for that, so they're not really going head-to-head with anything that AEW is doing. But about 2 p.m. on a Saturday. Those shows are kind of nice. I'm starting to like them.
Yeah, I like it. And I like the vibe. Yeah. It's like cool to have that to do during the day, even though I missed NXT Mania weekend. But that's cool. We'll probably be at All Out.
Yeah, we will. I kind of want to find a way maybe to watch it because I feel like since they haven't gone there in 30 years, they're probably going to stack the card. Like there's going to be some good matches, you would have to think.
One thing we know for sure is we won't be attending FanFest again, probably. So we have our Saturday open.
This is true. You were at AEW Fan Fest for a good half hour.
About 45, yeah. 15 of that spent with you, the other 10 walking in, walking out, and then
if you're not willing to spend hundreds of dollars to meet AEW superstars for 30 seconds, it's probably not worth it. But I'm glad I got to experience it because I got to meet some of the lower and up and comers, like Top Flight was there. I got to meet 2.0 and Jamie Hayter. And I got all those autographs right there. There's the Dark Order, 2.0 and there's Top Flight.
Worth it.
Yeah. If you haven't done it, just do it once. But yeah, this UK stadium event, they said there's already been 59,000 people that have pre-ordered tickets for it.
Wow. That's cool.
So the demand was there the whole time. Like, this obviously is something that the UK has wanted.
Yeah. Awesome.
Do you think they would ever do like a major pay-per-view there again, like a SummerSlam or WrestleMania?
I don't see why not. Like,
I think that just it messes with our time zones, because I feel like their main target audience is probably American, right?
True. Yes. But I mean, it's the weekend. We know when Mania is going to be every year, and just plan ahead, plan accordingly.
That's true. The UK loves the W. Oh,
W. Go where you're wanted.
I'm surprised he didn't call it the Fed. All the AEW people love to call WWE the Fed now. Have you seen that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Them and their slang. You know, the Twitterverse has been very active once again in the wrestling world this week. I feel like there isn't a week that goes by where AEW loyalists and WWE diehards aren't going at that.
Where they're not going at it?
Yeah, there's always something.
Yeah, I know. Everyone just needs to go get some fresh air. go take a little walk.
Or just enjoy it all.
Go outside, eat a banana, drink some water, and let it go.
Ryan Matthews said, speaking of SummerSlam, did you guys get a chance to see the advertisement for the pay-per-view? Roman's already on the front. Yeah, why wouldn't Roman be on the front? You know, it's SummerSlam. Roman's probably going to be the champion.
Speaking of Roman, did you see that Young Rock thing?
I did. It's kind of like an Easter egg in the middle of a reality TV show, ain't it?
It is. Interesting.
He said, acknowledge me. And then what? The person playing The Rock in that show was like, maybe one day at WrestleMania.
Or something like he wanted to wrestle and he's like, not now. Or something. He's like, yeah. And he's like, maybe one day at WrestleMania or something like that. A match like that's got to be saved for WrestleMania.
Was he wrong?
Bit of foreshadowing, perhaps.
It's something that we've been talking about for, it seems like a couple of years now. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Sent the Young Rock thing in the group chat to crickets.
You need better friends, Ryan.
And he's referring to the OTM Side Pieces group chat. It's a very exclusive thing, not a part of the Patreon. I don't even know why we're giving it away for free.
What, our group chat?
Yeah, to be in it, you know? Even though Vogus and I are probably the most active while you just sit there in silence.
I read it all.
Oh, so you're just one of those.
Well, I read it all, and then half the time it's like way after the fact. I'm not going to chime in an hour later and be like,
that's fair.
That's funny.
Okay, it's a fair critique. We'll move on. So yeah, exciting news there. I'm happy for the UK to get that stadium event. They definitely deserve a little bit more shine over there. So that'll be cool. But yeah, it's all out weekend, so I don't know if we're even going to be watching it live. Quinny Gerard chiming in once again. I speak when I'm needed. That's true. Quinn's very particular on what he responds to or what he initiates in a conversation. He's a pot stirrer like you are, Erica.
I like it.
We all are in a little bit. So one more thing before I want to talk a little bit about NXT that happened this week was, Mikey's chiming in. We haven't seen Mikey Wilson in the comments, but he said super busy today, guys. Just chiming in to say hi. We miss you, Mikey. Definitely miss watching wrestling with Mikey. He was one of my guys up here in Northwest Indiana. Now he's in Tejas. Hook him. So Monday Night Raw, Erica, the one thing that I wanted to discuss was what the hell happened there in that finish with Damian Priest and AJ Styles? Like, that might have been one of the weirdest finishes I've ever seen in my life.
Run it by me again. I think I told you.
I mean, they were having a good match. It was between Priest and Styles. And then the match ended with the edge lights coming down. Damian just stares into the camera. Commercial. We come back. There's no match. What is that?
What is that? And then AJ Styles was even pissed. But then it's like, why? Like, I wouldn't have left the ring. I know it's all kayfabe, but like, I wouldn't have left the ring. Like, right? The fuck are we doing?
I like my things to make some sense. I know it's wrestling, and wrestling doesn't make sense half the time, but that really is just out of left field. Like, we're just going to finish a match, and we're not even going to explain why, because the lights went dim, and Damian Priest kind of turned into like a vampire.
And it wasn't even like the lights went out, and they like came back on, and he was all like spooky looking, and AJ's laid out in the ring.
Right. It wasn't like
we all would have taken that and been like, all right, what? But okay. Like, yeah, no.
And it didn't make much sense to me, especially when you have such a good match going too. Why is that the finish? And obviously it's probably a way to prolong this, but I'm not sure of the direction. It seems as if Edge is still not going to be there every week, which is kind of weird for somebody that's supposed to be a part of a faction. Like, wouldn't you expect Edge to be on TV every week?
Especially at least maybe in like the beginning, or maybe build it up and have like, I mean, I've been seeing on Twitter, as I'm sure you have too, like the thought of like Ciampa.
Was that Edge's group knocking shit over there?
It's my sunflower seeds that I have to plant. Yes.
Fair enough.
But like the thought of that group like getting bigger, like people like Ciampa or Rhea or Liv, or I'm trying to remember who else. The thought of whatever. I mean, give them something. And then as the leader, if you're not there every week, like, okay, but when you come back, it means something. But so I agree with you, him so soon after this joining.
Yeah, and I'm not going to act like that ruins the faction or the momentum they have. It was just very weird, and it didn't really make much sense to me. So, yeah. We'll see what comes out of that. But Vogus said there's nothing better in wrestling right now than KO Elias conspiracy reactions. I don't know who Elias is. All I'm seeing is Ezekiel, who's Elias's younger brother, Erica.
Yeah, I mean, they're very similar. I mean, we even saw the picture that somebody posted on Twitter of the two of them posing together at a meeting.
It's wild.
So it's true. You know? I do love I mean, Kevin Owens could sell like water to a well, and it's just, I'm eating it up. I love it.
Kevin, we talk about Kevin Owens a lot, and we give him a lot of love and appreciation, but I think it's warranted because this guy is not always in major title feuds, but it seems like every feud that he is involved with in every program, it's must-see television. Like Vogus said, that's probably the best thing going on Monday Night Raw right now.
True. And then you just see him like tag Sammy and ask like for Sammy's help and like whatever. I love it.
It's good shit. And Kevin Owens re-signed. He's making good money now, so good for him as he's doing great stuff right there. Matthew's chiming in. The fact that Ezekiel took over Elias's Instagram without even deleting all the rest of the posts is hilarious to me. Yeah, I love and his Twitter handle is still Elias WWE, but it says Ezekiel in his name. So he's just committed to this. And
his handle's Elias WWE?
His handle is Elias WWE, but his name is Ezekiel.
Oh.
So he's really leaning into it, which I appreciate. And I talked with Tuck last week. I don't think you got the chance to listen back, but I said, what if like this just evolves into different characters? Like Elias comes out with a different variant of Ezekiel next week, and it's a different name. And he just keeps going with this, and the ball just keeps rolling, and he just changes every week.
It could be. You know, and a lot of people hated on it when he first came out like 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and now look at it.
Steve Signor said it's the thing he looks forward to the most now.
Yeah.
Derek Perry, our good buddy over there, he said that it's jog with Ezekiel now. It's not walk with Elias, it's jog with Ezekiel. So we got new things going on, and the Ezekiel hype is real, at least on the On the Mark Wrestling podcast. But was there anything else from Raw or maybe last week's SmackDown that you wanted to touch on, or you really can't think back to that far?
I can't remember SmackDown at all. And then I was very tired Monday. I fell asleep for a lot of Raw, so
it's fair. I mean, you had COVID, so you know it probably.
And what happened with Bianca and Sonya? Sonya's Bianca's new opponent.
So yeah, what if you didn't catch Raw? Hi, Mom.
Hi, Donna.
My mom's saying hello. The weekly hello from my mom. Sonya announced that they were going to have somebody confront Bianca to be her challenger at the next live pay-per-view event, and then they had a drum roll and everything with both of them in the ring, and she was like, and your opponent is, and she attacked Bianca and signed the contract. So I'm okay with it. I think Sonya, you know, she's a good hand, and she's never somebody I think I could take seriously to be a champion, but you know, to hold the rope and maybe be a filler feud, why not Sonya Deville?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
saw a lot of people hating on it.
It's what they do.
It is what they do. Like Vogus said, fans always complain. In this instance about the name changes. So Vince threw it right back at him. It's gold. Yeah. Run with Ryan. Are you alluding to the Ryans or just you, Ryan Matthews? Because I know two Ryans. Could be their stable.
All right. Velvet, you're stirring it up.
Stir it up. So last WWE thing, and then we can get into the big shows coming up here. is the involvement with Natalya in NXT. We saw in NXT this past Tuesday that she confronted Cora Jade and attacked her and made it seem like she is going to be staying a while in NXT, as she had a segment backstage after that segment. But overall, the segment was pretty cool because Cora alluded to her going to a live event in Hammond, Indiana, which is actually just down the road from me in 2014. And I actually found the tweet. This is a real thing. Cora had a picture with Natalya at that live event that Natalya even interacted with at the time. They bring that into the fold here into this real segment on NXT. Natalya, I guess, turns on Cora, and now she's going to be in the mix with NXT. So, Erica, this is something we've obviously talked about with main roster people being involved in NXT and how it could be good for the brand. What is your take on Natalya getting involved with this women's division?
Well, Vogus's comment just killed me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The best Ryan is Ryan Gagliardi. Those are facts.
No.
NXT really trying to keep me from watching with this move. Oh, it was good. Now you're just being a hater. And I hate Natty.
And for some reason, I know we had talked about like potential main roster people coming down to NXT, and a woman never crossed my mind. And then like when her music hit and the crowd
big pop
for Natty. And I was like, this makes sense. She could go with the best of them. Yeah, I'm into it. And I think Cora like needs to keep her momentum going. And if it's not going to be in the main title picture, then having something like this, I think, is a good fit. So yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of a conversation that me and you had back and forth in our text messages yesterday. And you were talking about how you're kind of like falling out of the NXT vibe, like you're not tuning in or feel like it's must see. But I was bringing up the fact that I do think they are still building stars to be ready for that main roster, because you bring up Cora Jade right here and how she kind of needs something to dive into now that she's not in the title scene anymore. I feel like they've done a good job in this short amount of time, specifically with her and obviously names like Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes, making them seem like stars. Because Cora Jade, now that she's not in that NXT title scene, being in a feud with Natalya is probably the second best option she probably has right now in NXT.
I agree. For the record, I support NXT. I want them to do well. I want them to be received well. Nothing makes me angrier on Twitter than when I see stupid AEW marks just taking layups on NXT. It's just something just not doing it for me anymore or lately. Even guys that like I should care about, I can't even like focus long enough to like have them come on my screen. Like even Cameron Grimes, like one of like the more newer like OGs of NXT. Like I don't care that he's North American champion, or I don't know. And I feel bad that like I kind of like fell out of love with it, but it's.
And I do get that. I get that critique. Like I've seen a lot of people have the same opinion as you. And I think a lot of people are looking through the lens of, you know, this is NXT, the black and gold brand, when it completely is the opposite of what it once was. Like, yes, it still has the name NXT, but I think the way they're presenting this product isn't the same as it was intentionally. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
Yeah, but even like, all right, so like Kaylee Ray and Io won the Dusty Cup. Right. And then like what? And I don't mean this, like I'm not being a hater right now, but like.
No, these are fair takes.
No, and I know everyone loves like Toxic Attraction. Like Mandy Rose to me is not like, especially with the women that were there while she was champion, she is not like NXT champion, like to me. And now it's like, you know, when somebody like irks you, like there was a girl that I worked with and I couldn't stand her, and everything she did would just like get immediately under my skin. It's like becoming like that when I see like Mandy Rose when she does that like stupid, when she does the strut, like when she comes out, I'm like, I can't stand watching her walk. It's just like little things, or like, I don't know. I don't know. It just makes me like crazy.
Isn't that
now.
what the goal is for her? Like, isn't that what that character is supposed to be? To give you that reaction?
That I stop watching?
No, not that, but she wants to bring out that like, feeling.
I know, and she's probably like a really nice girl in real life.
I think she knows.
I get that. But I'm just saying, I don't want to say his name. Andre Chase. Like,
did
what's
somebody
that?
say Andre Chase?
I wish I didn't. So there's just a lot of that's like falling flat. I don't know. And I feel sad about it, but
I'm still a big fan, and I know I get what you're saying. It makes sense to me, but I watch NXT with different expectations, and I kind of see the vision. I see the long-term play that the WWE is taking with this. They're more,
and the crowd sucks.
Okay, I will agree
and
with.
I think
the
that
NXT
kind of
crowd
like
is terrible.
Yeah, they don't deserve that. Like, put NXT on the road, have them start touring. That
Yes.
Florida crowd, like, go fucking home.
Or instead of filming main event before a SmackDown or a Raw, do an hour of NXT.
Sure, there you go.
Get the main roster audience exposure to the NXT. Like, that's the easiest way to do it in my eyes.
Yep.
But hey, I mean, we're just two podcasters.
What do we know?
We don't know what we're talking about.
No.
Anything else from NXT that you wanted to discuss, or you get all that you wanted to off your chest?
Yeah, and I already feel bad having said it all. Sorry.
I know. You got to have those opinions. And I'm curious what our listeners think. So if you're watching live or you're listening at a later date, respond to us on social media and let us know your take on NXT, because, it's a very polarizing brand right now in professional wrestling. But something that's not as polarizing is AEW, because a lot of people seem to respect what they are doing. They've been putting on good and consistent shows for the last couple of years now. And we have a big championship weekend coming up here for the AEW. We have AEW Rampage coming up tomorrow at a new start time at 6 p.m. Central. This is just for this week. I don't think this is a permanent start time, so don't worry about that, Erica. So it's 7 o'clock your time, just to help you out. Thank you ready.
I'll set a reminder now.
Here we go. Vogus's take is, I don't have energy to watch the rebuild. I'll tune back in when they're stars. Also a fair take, I would say, because that is kind of what they're doing. Like, to compare it to professional sports, this is a rebuild. Like, it's a losing team that is trying to get back to their winning ways.
And it's just kind of like maybe a little bit like sloppily done, maybe. And I don't mean like necessarily like ring work. I just mean like stories, characters, or
makeout sessions.
Why? Who made out?
Duja, Persia Parada, and Duke Hudson.
Oh, Maroon, I know. Yeah.
Indy and Dexter, they're making out every week.
It's just weird.
And then you got people making out Sammy and Ty Conti, Carmella and Corey Graves. The pro wrestling's just horny.
Everyone, yeah.
I mean, if you look at Twitter, a lot of the people we follow are pretty horny. We won't name drop, though. We won't name drop. So on Rampage, we have a few things we can talk about here, Erica. We have an Owen Hart qualifying match. We have Ruby Soho taking on Robin Renegade, and we haven't seen Ruby on TV in 114 days.
Wow.
Triple digits.
Wow. I was been wondering about her recently, and I think I've said this before too. I always try to think, because I think part of me is just kind of like still takes a little dig at AEW, but I always try to think like, they signed all these people and, they're doing so much better in AEW. And I'm thinking like, where's Tony Nese been? Where's Ruby Soho been? And then like,
but they're wrestling on a YouTube show, Erica. They're wrestling on a YouTube show.
I guess I should know that. Yeah. But I'm happy for her to be in this tournament.
I don't want to reiterate points that I've had on past episodes. You know where I stand with this whole Ruby Soho thing. Like, you had a legitimate star, a legitimate contender in your women's division, and you keep her off TV for triple digit days with no injury whatsoever. And like Vogus said, they're signing everyone for the debuts pops, and that's it. And then you're having a tag match on Rampage, which isn't necessarily bad. And I'm talking about like a Keith Lee and Swerve. They teamed up this week.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that was a good match, and I enjoyed their interaction there. But it's like, once again, Keith Lee, and you can't shotgun these people right into the world title scene, but it's Keith Lee, And
then it's like, I don't know, like, you don't need the same people on every single week. They could be on, and she came to my mind, like Jade. Maybe she doesn't need to be on every week, but like every other, obviously, like, she's a star, so maybe she should be. But, just as an example.
She is that bitch.
And then you give somebody else, like, that spot. You know what I mean? You just kind of got to, like, shuffle, give everybody a chance. Otherwise, yeah, like Vogus said, you're just signing them to get the initial pop, and then you don't know what to do with them.
I don't know. I popped pretty hard when I found out on Dynamite this week that we're getting Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter.
Okay, everybody's boners are gonna fall.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Erica hating on it because
I am not hating on it. When it happened, I said out loud to Mike and Bobby, I said, I don't want to be watching this with the two of you because your boners are just going to be all over the place. Like, it's whatever. You whatever. But
have you seen the OnlyFans leaks, Erica?
No, I don't need to. I could see. I get it. I get it. I forgot what I was going to say.
I forget sometimes what I'm going to say when I'm talking about Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter too. It's okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Shit happens. Maybe this will jog your memory. Vogus said, now Swerve looks like an afterthought in that match to me after Wednesday or Friday. Was it Friday that he had that match or was it Dynamite? I'm even forgetting.
Dynamite, I think.
Yeah, Dynamite. I don't get the Jamie Hayter hype. Not a fan. I got to meet her, so that's a big reason why I'm a fan. I think there's a little personal connection there, I guess. I stood in line for an hour and a half, and it is Hayter with a Y, Vogus. I know you knew you misspelled it, but I got to stand for my girl, Jamie Hayter. But yeah, Ruby's back on television tomorrow night since we're recording this on Thursday. She's obviously going to win, but do you think there's a chance that maybe Ruby is the one to win this Owen Hart thing, or is that probably someone like a Tony Storm?
I mean, hopefully it comes down to somebody like a Ruby versus a Tony. I mean, who else is in it right now? Red Velvet?
Yeah.
It's bullshit. I mean, I'm very partial to Willow. She was at my very first indie show that I went to, and I just loved her immediately.
How'd you like her match on AEW?
I loved it. Oh, and that's what I think I was going to say too, is about the people, new people coming. Obviously, Joe. I like the Ring of Honor aspect to all of it because it's a way to have different people, but not necessarily like you had Joe in that match last night. And it's, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I think he could figure it out, Tony. I just hope that he does. But back to Ruby. Who else is in it? Yeah.
Well, I know I actually want to keep on that point. Like going back to the Ring of Honor thing, I wonder if that huge announcement that they alluded to is potentially like Ring of Honor getting a TV deal. Because if you give Ring of Honor a TV deal, or you have a streaming service to showcase more of your talent, then I think there is opportunity for this company to even grow to where they're kind of hanging out right now between 900,000 and 1 million viewers.
And I 100%, and I would be so on board because Mania week, that Friday night, that's Ring of Honor Super Card show, I could not shut up about it. A, when the Joe came out, but B, when the Bucks came after that FTR and Briscoe's match, which I watched 4 times. And I think it was Matt Jackson, and he was like, oh, that's what you want? You want Bucks versus FTR? And he just made it seem like Ring of Honor was not good enough to have that match, and that they would have it the next week on Dynamite. So I like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the main roster coming down to NXT, but infiltrating AEW and Ring of Honor. So I think if they had a TV deal, that would be fucking awesome.
That's what I'm hoping. But yeah, going back to the Owen Hart thing, I think it would obviously have to be a Ruby or a Tony. You got to heat up somebody other than Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, and Jade. There's just got to be more. Britt is in that tournament. That's another name we didn't mention. So obviously she has a fair shot to win it as well. But I don't know if her just having all that world title reign that she would win something like that and get back in the title scene right away. But yeah, who knows? Maybe they're just going to go right back to Britt Baker. But also on Rampage tomorrow, you have the Blackpool Combat Club taking on the Gun Club. Obviously the BCC is going to win. But since you haven't got the chance to talk about this in the last 2 weeks, how have you liked the evolving of Wheeler Yuta into the BCC and that match that he had with Moxley last week?
Again, he was at my first indie show with Willow. So I'm very partial to him. I love it. I love that he was the first one to try to get in with them. I love how Regal handled it and how he made him basically I saw somebody say he basically got jumped into it.
Regal's been great so far.
I think he just proved himself. I think when he came, when Trent got hurt and people kind of weren't so much into him, and I think he kind of just shut everybody up with that Moxley match last week. And happy for him. I like it. And that Danhausen thing, did that happen on TV or after?
Are you talking about in the ring?
When he cursed Regal?
That did not happen on TV. No.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, I paid attention, and I don't remember that.
So you're a fan of Danhausen?
I mean, he makes I enjoy him. Yeah.
I hate him.
Why?
I hate him. I don't.
Oh my
like
God,
him.
you're about to be cursed.
I don't. Did I do it right? Did I do it right?
Yeah.
No, like I've talked about it before. It's very like similar to Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy's is a little bit more realistic. Like the Danhausen thing is just too out of left field for me to get behind. I get why people like it. I'm not hating on you if you do, but I'm here to state that I am not a fan of Danhausen. He can curse me if he wants.
Wow.
I'm asking
Okay.
for curse. I'll take it. So yeah, any other comments though from the BCC? They got new merch out. They're evolving.
Like I'm trying so hard to like not all winter. All I did was buy wrestling merch. Now it's like spring and summer, and I need to spend my money on like girl clothes. But Joe's new AEW shirt, BCC merch that's coming out. It is very difficult. OTM merch. I mean, it's very difficult.
Yeah, that is true. The OTM merch that you can get right there down below that I have the ability to just throw on our screen whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Tuck, don't you?
I do. I was chatting with him last night a bit.
What?
I knew you'd be jealous. I knew it.
I know you can have conversations without me involved. It's okay.
You.
I have conversations with Tuck about you too.
Oh.
We're talking shit.
I'm going to need to see those.
Talking mad shit about you.
I believe it. That's all right.
Just kidding. Tuck barely gets any service when he's teaching, and I always text during the middle of the day because I want to distract myself from actual work. You know? I
have to just text randomly or else I'll just forget to say what I have to say. So
yeah, you do ignore a lot of my texts. That does happen often.
That's not true.
And you reamed me. Yeah, we did. But
yeah, because you didn't say it like how we just said it. How we're like, oh, we missed Tuck. You were like this. Like we were like 30 seconds in. You're like this. I missed Tuck.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to watch this show with these two. Yeah. Yeah. But at least this week, Bogus hasn't, insinuated that in that way this week. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Shit happens. Obviously, the big thing, though, going on with AEW Rampage this week is the AEW World Heavyweight Championship Texas Death Match between Adam Hangman Page and Adam Cole, baby. And we have to predict this match because it is a world title match. And I do think there is a good chance that there will be a new champion on AEW Rampage.
Even though it's in Texas?
Hometown loss.
Ouch.
What do you think?
I don't know.
You're thinking Paige is retaining?
Well, I thought it was cool when you said it was Adam Cole, and then I was like, oh, and then it's like Red Dragon having that match, and you said no.
Well, I mean, I don't. Eventually, I do believe that they will go that route where Red Dragon's holding the titles with Adam Cole. And
how long do you think Adam Cole's going to have that belt for?
I don't think he'll be a long champion.
He'll be a multiple.
Maybe. I think it's just a way to maybe get to CM Punk. Because we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We're like, who will be next for Paige? And I said Punk, but then when you think about it, those are just two big baby faces going at it. And I think the only way you can get it to CM Punk is having a heel take it. So maybe a guy like Adam Cole, and you have this stipulation, the Texas Death Match. I believe you can have other people get involved and there is no DQ. I could be wrong with that. So I'm expecting some sort of involvement with Red Dragon in this match. Maybe the Dark Order gets involved on behalf of Hangman, but I think we're getting a new champion. I think Adam Cole's going to win the AEW World Championship tomorrow.
Interesting.
And a lot of people have made a criticism though of Paige's reign. They don't think it's been that great. Where do you stand on all that?
I think I just like him as a person, so I'd feel bad feeling any sort of way about it. But like, I can't think of off the top of my head any like what was a good like defense he had. Like
Bryan Danielson. He had great matches with that. I don't think it's all about the defenses or the quality of matches. I just think since he's such a big baby face, it's just not.
Otherwise than what it's about. To me, a good champion is someone that defends it and puts on like excellent matches when they're defending it.
I mean, the one he had with Lance Archer too in the death match was fantastic. I don't think it's a lack of good matches from Adam Page. I don't think people are buying into him as a champion. As weird as that sounds.
Could be it too. There is something like off about it, or not like. Yeah.
And that dude's been one of my favorites, if not the favorite, in AEW since they started.
I was going to say, and he's super effing over. So maybe it does go to Adam Cole. Maybe he takes some time off and comes back and they get that cheap pop, and who knows.
That is a solid point from Bogus. There really hasn't been a great story attached to
maybe that's what I mean too.
Title.
Yeah.
He's kind of just been having those matches and nothing really to him. But there's a little bit of a story here with Adam Cole, which makes me want to, assume that he is going to win tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to the "Let's Go Adam sucks" chant.
Those very bland character to me, not going to lie. I disagree, but, everybody has their opinions, right, Matthews? I think he's a very good babyface character to have on your show, because you got to have those. You got to have those mainstays on your product, so... Adam Page is obviously one of them, but I'm going with Adam Cole. Who are you going with? I need a pick.
Well, I mean, I kind of think now Adam Cole too. I'll say Adam Page just to defer to you.
Who do you want to win?
Like,
you don't want.
I don't know. I think I'll be all right either way.
I feel like that's probably true for a lot of people, because these seem to be two over guys, as the internet would say, and they have a lot of fans regardless. So
yeah,
I think there's just more possibilities with Adam Cole than there is with Adam Page.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like Adam Cole versus CM Punk at Double or Nothing, that would be something. That might be where they're going. If Adam Cole loses here, he's obviously out of the title scene, right?
You would think.
So after that, who would be next to Page?
But then if it's not Adam Cole, then like could also the announcement be like the trios belts? Because I think that's obviously the three of them will hold those. So yeah, I don't know.
And they're very good at those trios matches too. So yeah, that'd be a cool thing for the announcement, but we'll find out. I think that's next week when they're making that announcement. But
I was thinking it was tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't think it's tomorrow or Saturday. I believe they are filming Rampage live tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that is Battle of the Belts. That's happening Saturday night.
Bogus made a good point.
Was Hangman's chase way too long? I feel like they dragged it on way too long and it didn't strike when it was right. That's not a bad question, Erica.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I feel like we did kind of discuss that too for a little bit when he was on the chase. I don't know if you were part of the show by then. I think Adam Page has been champion since you've been with OTM, but me and Tuck kind of talked about that too. We're like, man, it's just like, when are they going to strike with Page? And they kind of waited, and then they finally did it, which was a cool moment. He had a cool entrance in the street with the horses and everything. But there was that gap. Right. There was that period where he really wasn't doing anything with the title.
Yeah. And I think for so long we were like, and I say this all the time, but like, if not now, when? And then it was just kept being that. And then also, it finally was. We
talked about it in our All Out show. You were on that show. We thought that main event was going to be Page versus Omega. It wasn't.
Right.
It was Christian Cage versus Omega. Right. That's when we thought that title was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So Vogus's question's actually fair, I think, in terms of his reign. So Vogus, I'm curious, who do you think tomorrow, Cole or Page? Erica's just going to be different. She's going to go with Page. I'm going with Adam Cole, baby, of course. I mean, it's all about the boom, right? Great shirt here, by the way. Fantastic. I like this one. So, let's talk about Battle of the Belts. They got 3 matches announced. One of them being Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose for the Women's Championship. We don't need to talk about how we hate the fact that Nyla's in this title match once again, but I think we both can agree that Thunder Rosa will probably retain, correct?
Correct.
Cole, give me Cole all day, Bogus says. Switch it up. Yep. I agree with you, Mr. Bogus. Thoughts so far with the Thunder Rosa presentation as champion?
After the Vicky thing a couple weeks ago, I think it's gotten better. I do think something needs to happen. Like, obviously, Nyla is not going to win, but I think you need, like, a heelish. I mean, not necessarily Britt Baker, but I need like some sort of like interference to set up like her next big feud for it. And I mean, I have full faith in her, but I think it's getting off to a good start. I'm hopeful. You?
I mean, I wouldn't say a good start. I am hopeful because I do believe Thunder Rosa.
It's so fresh though.
It's very fresh. So once she gets like that feud to dive into, like she did with Britt Baker, I think there is potential there. But
yeah,
just get past Nyla Rose, and then I'll give you my opinion on all that.
Yes,
So
all right.
we can both agree. Get Thunder Rosa gets the win here at Battle of the Belts. We all move on from the Nyla Rose situation. But another match that they're doing here, Erica, is Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. And Sammy Guevara is in a lot of the internet wrestling community's tweets because he is annoying on screen with Ty Conti. I think he's just like naturally turning into a heel before our eyes, even if they don't want it to be.
I don't.
Say what you're feeling. Don't hold back.
It's just too much. It's too much, and I don't necessarily think it's like heat, like, oh, you guys are too much. It's like go away heat. It's like enough. Like when they came out last week and they like cut to commercial, and it's like, good, I don't have to hear Ty speak. I don't have to, you know what I mean? I got like very minimal of it, and I just was like, I wonder if that was intentional. But it's just not, you're not like getting anything like good out of anybody by having it. Like there's one that's like, heat. I'm loving it. Yes. It's like we're all like, shut the fuck up. Like nobody gives a shit.
We actually do not like you on TV.
Yeah, you know, like, and I just feel like they should have, and that's what I'm saying, like live your life, like good on them, like they're happy, great. Yeah. But I just think like knowing that to me, like if I give a shit about my boyfriend's image, and that I'm, you know, sitting on Twitter, like trolling people and, you know, sorry, there's like a bug. And that wasn't being like very well received. I probably would like keep my distance from him. I don't need to be in an angle with him, like on television, like, you know, like
if you're a babyface, which they are,
give people a break from like us as a couple to like, you do your thing and like, I'll do my thing. And like, you know, like we get each other. I don't know. I just think.
I think I speak for the both of us when I say we both agree that Sammy and Ty individually are great. Like they can go in the ring and they have solid characters, but when you put them together and you're bringing in the real life stuff on TV, it's just too much for me. I don't want that.
And it's like not you meaning them, like, and like you think it's like funny, and it's like no, like we're not. No,
we're actually like fuck off.
Yes, like I would turn the channel or I would. And that's why I'm like the Scorpio Sky thing. Like I've never cheered because like Paige kind of like irks me too. I'm going to be cheering for her so hard.
Ooh, Paige's shirt back last week was very good.
Tell me about it.
My spark notes of it was like he talked about being a good father, and he's like, I know my daughter's probably sleeping at home right now, but I hope you never grow up to be like Ty Conti. Yeah.
No, I meant Paige Van, whatever her name is.
Oh, Paige Van Zandt. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Ethan Page.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Ethan's comment, Ethan I was like, Page, holy shit. Ethan Page, that's a guy I think you need to strap a rocket to because he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that dude's just charisma for days. Like I think he could be a good baby face.
Yeah.
Would love to see. He's a good heel though. So, and like Vogus said, it is championship week. So someone's got to drop a belt somewhere. And the TNT title is kind of that belt that they like to flip-flop from time to time. We've seen it on multiple instances. Do you think there's a possibility that maybe they give it to Sammy and they kind of run with this as like a heel thing?
I don't think that I would like that. I forgot how you worded it, so I wasn't sure how to answer, and then I just
don't like. Do you think Sammy's going to win?
No, and I don't want him to. I don't know if he's going to. I don't want him to.
I don't think
I don't need one more thing for him to be fucking obnoxious about. And it would be.
If I was booking it, I think obviously Sky goes over, but I want to see a little bit of dissension with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky because I think there could be something there. Maybe Scorpio gets very cocky and he's like, hey, Ethan, when are you going to get some gold around your waist? Or when are you going to do something on TV other than run your mouth? And then you can naturally turn Paige babyface after that.
Plus, I think there's going to be like a couples match, like Paige and
probably
Scorpio's guy versus Ty and Sammy. So I don't know.
Will Paige Van Zandt be a better wrestler than Marina Shafir?
TBD.
He can't be that hard because oh my God, it was just so bad. Like Rampage or Dynamite was good. Like we start off with two
crowd
really
didn't
good
help
matches.
either.
Well, can you blame the crowd?
Well,
Clunky match. The baddie section was distracting as all hell. They gave the women 5 minutes to create a match. Just a recipe for disaster.
Messy.
It was a little.
It was messy.
It was messy. So the last thing, I don't know much about Jonathan Gresham. You've obviously seen him work a couple times, right, with the Ring of Honor shows? Did I lose you?
Saturday screen, but you are too. Is he having a match Saturday?
Yeah, Jonathan Gresham's facing off against Dalton Castle, which I don't know anything about either.
Oh, okay.
Dynamite should have flipped the opener and the main event. I don't think Vogus really liked Joe's main event.
No, I don't think he did either.
Well, he did say he
say it to our face.
He said that he didn't really care for the Ring of Honor title being incorporated into it, and I think that's
fine. So then take the match for what it was, Vogus.
Which I think it was, as JR would say, a slobber knocker. It
was
a good main event, but the opener was probably the better match. But can you tell me anything about Jonathan Gresham or Dalton Castle? Because I don't know much about these guys.
I don't know much about Dalton Castle. I'm familiar with, and I think I'm familiar with him via Effie, but I don't know too much about him. But then they also, Bogus, I'm going to slap you for 5 minutes straight. I also saw a picture today. I guess he used to come out with what they used to call him. I don't remember. And Red Dragon was his
posse
escort or something. And they probably, I would imagine that the escorts probably change from time to time, but someone posted a picture of them, the three of them today. So I don't know if I can recall a match of his. I would imagine that Jonathan Gresham wins because
this is Jonathan Gresham's first title defense as Ring of Honor champion here at Battle of the Belts. I still have not seen any of his work. I've heard great things, and I believe he's in real life married to Jordan Grace, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So that I do know. I just need to pay more attention.
You need to watch that Ring of Honor Supercard is what you need to do.
I don't have anything to do after this show, so that's probably something I will do.
Worth it. I
don't know where.
When it ended, I said, as soon as this is over, I said, I want to watch that Briscoes match again. And then that was when Joe came out, and then I lost my fucking mind. Ooh, spoiler. But that was when Joe came out, and I blew a gasket.
Well, you didn't get the chance to really talk about the Joe thing on that Ring of Honor show, so we might as well just at least talk about that to finish off the show. I thought that was a great way to end the show. I didn't see it. You obviously watched the whole thing, and Joe is a huge get for AEW. But I feel like that with the Ring of Honor now being involved with AEW, that's probably the direction where Joe will be kind of helping out the Ring of Honor, don't you think?
I think so. And I think when somebody recently said it, how many more surprises can it be? There's no big names left. And this was maybe a month ago. I've been holding out for Joe. That was my first thought. I said, no way. Let Samoa Joe is now all elite. Let that pop up on my timeline. I would lose my shit. So I've been waiting and very hopeful that he comes. And I didn't recognize his music right away. But then as soon as he came out, I woke up the next morning and I was still freaking out about it. I'm just very happy to have him back. Like you said, I think he probably will stay more geared towards the Ring of Honor side of things, but just having the possibility of him on Dynamite, on Rampage for some dream type matches or whatever, just to intermingle, it's a slam dunk for me.
Yeah, and he's also a good hand to have for your company because we saw or heard things that when he was with WWE kind of worked as recruitment, and he worked in backstage roles, and he obviously did commentary for a little bit with WWE. Not only is he going to be a great on-screen character for them, but he's going to be able to do a lot more than just being a good wrestler. And I think him being in the ring now, seeing him hit the muscle buster because he couldn't do that in the WWE, man, that popped me just seeing him hit that a couple times.
Personality, with his match with Max Caster and the shit that Max was saying, and then whatever, he's just.
You were the champ when we beat you in the ratings.
Yeah, I liked his thing. I like his diss on Punk better when he said, "You're the voice. You think you're the voice of the voiceless. I talk to the ladies. You're the voice of the moistless." I'm like, that's just fucking very funny to me, and that stayed with me. I'm very excited.
I was gonna say, can you do us a favor and get us an interview with Max? You're kind of friends with him, aren't you? He retweeted you.
He did. He was
Just
so nice.
slide the DMs.
And then we tried to tell him that when we were leaving the Arthur Ashe show, was it called Grand Slam?
Yeah.
We're waiting for our Uber, and it's just like three nerds on like a street corner in Queens, and their bus comes and like rounds the corner, and it's just Max Caster in the window and like gave us the finger, and he was like this. So like Mike called him out on that. And he's like, "No, I don't think that was me. That was probably Anthony Ogogo or someone that like looked like me." He's like, "It wasn't me. Like that's not my style." And we're like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah,
Complete
sure,
prick.
pal.
It's
Sure.
100% you.
Another comment rolling in here. Max Caster, and I think that's GOAT. Yeah, that's
Goat.
a GOAT. It's
One
hard
more
to see.
thing. I think now that Joe is in AEW, I'm very hopeful that I will get to like meet him. He'll come to like a Northeast wrestling show, and
It's got to happen.
It's got to happen. That's why
Really?
I have that picture of me with this cutout from Mania 35, and I was like, remember this picture because I'm gonna make it real one day.
Be a hell of a moment. Hey, maybe when we're all together for All Out Weekend, we can meet Samoa Joe too. There's so much opportunities here, especially for you with the amount of wrestling shows you go to.
Oh my god!
Do you have any coming up, or you laying low?
So next Saturday,
Okay,
I'm either going to a Northeast wrestling show at the Hardys and Killer Cross and Scarlet and John Morrison.
Control your narrative, Erica.
They'll all be there. Or I'm going to go to Impact is having a pay-per-view in New York, and the card looks really solid, so I might do that.
That'll be fun. I figured you had. I had figured you had one coming up.
Something will.
Is MVM going to be Mikey Wilson? Who even is the MVM anymore? The MVM was Ryan Matthews. If you follow us on social media at Pot on the Mark, you would know that Ryan Matthews is not shy to tweet out some things. He even just tweeted, "Gotta go record a podcast, but great episode so far over at Pot on the Mark. Go listen if you haven't." We appreciate the shout out for Ryan Matthews, but it's really not going to be enough, Erica, because we have a new MVM of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast. He is back reclaiming his title, Ryan Vogus. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. We don't have Tuck soundboard, so we can't do that.
Yeah, and there was nothing to fart at.
You were just dissing him on Twitter.
I made nice with Vogus.
Did you? I am inevitable. He's like Thanos. There was one last thing, too. I forgot I had this pulled up as well. Just for reference, how I told you, I don't know if you've seen it yet. Here's the picture of Cora and Natalya in 2014.
Oh, no way. Oh,
yeah,
cute.
It's hard to see, but it's on. Natty just tweeted it like 9 hours ago. Like Cora's got braces and everything.
What about Cora's new chest tat?
Yeah, it was a bold move. It's a bold move. She's like 21. She's like a kid. It's just wild to think.
I've been saying that the legal tattoo age should be 30. I would have none tattoos.
I had to actively search for Erica's tweet because that Ryan kid is so far off my radar. He doesn't even acknowledge Ryan Matthews. It's hilarious.
Snap.
But hey, congrats to Ryan Vogus for finally regaining the MVM after a couple weeks. Don't forget to check out the new merchandise on our website at the onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com. Like I said last week, there will be a discount code for Backlash weekend. So you can still get merch, obviously, right now, but we're going to do about 15% off every pay-per-view weekend just as a special. That is a thing that we plan on doing even for AEW shows. So stay tuned for that. Erica, you got any final remarks as we head into AEW Championship weekend?
It is a great time to be a wrestling fan.
A wise man once said that.
Yep, we are spoiled AF.
We are. It's a lot's going on. I mean, Ring of Honor, GCW. You're going to indie shows. I mean, WWE and AEW. Obviously, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan, as Tuck would say. So, appreciate everybody that tuned in live, and for those listening at a later date, we appreciate you as well. And thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling podcast.